The testimony of truth reveals that there are demons enslaving the world. In the creation story, we are told that the serpent is evil and that Adam and Eve were sinful. But what if this was an inversion of the truth? In Genesis, God tells Adam and Eve that they can eat from every tree in the Garden of Eden except from the tree of knowledge, because if they do eat from the tree of knowledge, then they'll pass on. The serpent comes along and tells Eve that she can eat from the tree of knowledge, and if she does, she won't pass on, but she will instead become like God. So Eve decides to eat from the tree of knowledge and then tells Adam to do the same. God eventually finds out about this, curses the serpent, kicks Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden, and condemns their entire bloodline for the crime of acquiring knowledge. The testimony of truth looks at it from a different angle. It suggests that the serpent was trying to help humanity and that the entity in control of the Garden of Eden was masquerading as God. The testimony of truth begins by describing all of the questionable things that this creator being has done. And it also warns us that we should be extremely suspicious of anything that is trying to conceal knowledge. According to the testimony of truth, the being in control of the Garden of Eden is jealous and malicious, and it wants to stop humanity from gaining true enlightenment. It says, "But what sort is this God? First, he maliciously refused Adam from eating of the tree of knowledge. And secondly, he said, 'Adam, where are you?' Does God not have foreknowledge? Would he not know from the beginning? And afterwards he said, 'Let us cast him out of this place, lest he eat from the tree and live forever.' Surely he has shown himself to be a malicious grudger." Think about it. The only reason why you condemn knowledge or censor information is for the purpose of power, manipulation, and control. This is why the testimony of truth repeatedly says, "What kind of God is this? And of what sort is this God?" The book is trying to get the reader to wake up to the idea that there are hidden forces controlling the information that we have access to in this world. Just to be clear, these hidden forces are not the one true God. The testimony of truth then goes on to say that the ones who hear the story of the Garden of Eden and who do not realize that something is up are blind. It says, "And what kind of God is this? For great is the blindness of those who read, and they did not know him. And he said, 'I am the jealous God. I will bring the sins of the fathers upon the children until 3 and 4 generations.' And he said, 'I will make their heart thick, and I will cause their mind to become blind, that they might not know nor comprehend the things that are said.'" So, what was wrong with the Gnostics? Why did they keep writing such controversial stories? Well, we have to keep in mind that all of the Gnostic Gospels were written by philosophers. And these stories were not factual. They were written as think pieces. All of the Gnostic Gospels, including the testimony of truth, are archetypal. Archetypes are universal inborn models of behaviors and personalities that play a role in influencing our collective human experience. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung suggested that these archetypes are forms of innate knowledge that have been passed down from our ancestors. In Jungian psychology, these archetypes show up in religion, mythology, and in our interpersonal relationships. They are sort of coded into our personalities. Jung believed that we inherit these archetypes in the same way that a lioness inherits the ability to hunt. Let's explore the links between the testimony of truth and Carl Jung's archetypes. In Jungian psychology, the self, or God, is the archetype of wholeness. It is a symbol of our potential for unity and completeness. The self shows up in humanity in the form of a divine spark. This spark comes to Adam and Eve after eating from the tree of knowledge. It can be seen as a representation of God's divinity and highlights our innate drive towards enlightenment. The serpent in the testimony of truth can be correlated with Jung's archetype of the wise old man, which represents wisdom, guidance, and insight. These figures often appear in myths and religions as helpers or guides towards the truth. Jung identified the anima and animus as the unconscious feminine side in men and the unconscious masculine side in women, respectively. Just to be clear, this has nothing to do with human sexuality. In this story, Adam and Eve's roles and their journey of awakening can be viewed through the lens of the anima and the animus, representing the journey towards balancing and integrating the masculine and feminine aspects inside of ourselves to achieve wholeness. In Gnostic cosmology, the demiurge, or Yad Baoth, is a flawed creator spirit who masquerades as the true God. He is the source of chaos in the material world, and he is linked to Jung's concept of the shadow. The shadow archetype embodies the parts of ourselves that we deny, reject, and project out onto others as negative traits. The Gnostic critique of the demiurge encourages an exploration of the personal shadow and suggests that spiritual enlightenment includes recognizing our own flaws and weaknesses. The narrative of the testimony of truth taps into deep mythological themes that resonate with the collective unconsciousness. The story's critique of creation and the fall mirrors the universal quest for understanding, meaning, and transcendence that Jung suggests is at the heart of the human psyche. All the Gnostic Gospels teach us that the universe is highly complex and filled with divine beings of light and of demons who operate from the shadows. The Gnostic Gospels also heavily critiqued the religious authorities of the time. This is not to suggest that religion is bad. Think of the old school religious authorities as being the equivalent of what we now call big government. The Gnostics advocated for a personal connection to the divine because it teaches the value of questioning authority and of forming your own personal relationship with God. Skepticism isn't about disbelief or cynicism. It is about a desire to understand more deeply. In spirituality, it means not accepting spiritual truths just because someone says so, but because you've explored, questioned, and found them to be true for yourself. Your spiritual path may or may not look like everyone else's, and that's fine. Instead of worrying about what everyone else is doing, we should be, number one, reading widely. Not just texts that align with your current beliefs, but also those that challenge them. Use a journal to write down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences with different spiritual concepts. Over time, you'll start to see what resonates with you on a deeper level. Talk with others about their spiritual beliefs and practices, especially to those with different views. These conversations can offer new insights and help clarify your own beliefs. Skepticism towards authority isn't about creating a barrier between yourself and tradition. It's about building a bridge towards deeper understanding and personal growth. If this video sparked something in you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe for more content exploring the depths of spirituality and personal development. And until next time, keep questioning, keep seeking, and keep evolving. Thank you. I love you, and I'll speak to you soon.